Right now, there is a reasonable chance that something is living inside your brain. Not a metaphor. An actual single-celled parasite coiled inside a tiny cyst, completely invisible to you, producing no pain, no fever, no obvious symptoms at all. And here is the strangest part. Your immune system knows it is there, and it chose to let it stay. Today you are going to find out exactly why, and what that parasite might quietly be doing to you. The organism is called Toxoplasma gondii. You have almost certainly heard it mentioned in passing, usually as a warning to pregnant women about cat litter. But that framing wildly undersells the story. Toxoplasma is one of the most successful parasites on Earth. Scientists estimate it has infected roughly 1 in 3 humans alive today. That is over 2 billion people. And cats, as it turns out, are only one small chapter of a much stranger story. To understand why your body tolerates this thing, you first have to understand what Toxoplasma actually wants. Its ultimate goal, if a parasite can be said to have a goal, is to get inside a cat. Only in a cat's intestines can Toxoplasma sexually reproduce. But most of its hosts are not cats. They are rodents, birds, livestock, and humans, all dead-end detours. So the parasite evolved a strategy so elegant, it almost seems impossible. When Toxoplasma infects a mouse, it travels to the brain and does something remarkable. It specifically targets the region that processes fear, the amygdala. There, it suppresses the mouse's innate terror of cat urine. Not all fear. The mouse still runs from loud noises, still avoids open spaces, but that one ancient hardwired alarm, the smell of a predator, goes strangely quiet. Some studies suggest infected mice are even faintly attracted to it. The mouse wanders closer to the cat eats the mouse. Toxoplasma reaches its destination. The parasite has essentially hacked a mammal's brain to complete its own life cycle. Now here is where it gets deeply personal, because humans are mammals too. We have an amygdala. We have the same ancient fear circuitry. And when researchers started studying Toxoplasma-positive humans, people who carry the parasite but feel completely fine, they began finding subtle statistical differences that no one expected. Not dramatic personality changes, not zombie-like behavior, but small, consistent shifts, spread across large populations, that have kept scientists arguing for decades. Czech biologist Jaroslav Fleger spent years collecting data on infected versus uninfected people. He found that Toxoplasma-positive individuals showed slightly slower reaction times in some tests, and in some studies, a modestly higher rate of traffic accidents. He also found personality differences. Infected men tended to score as more suspicious and less socially conforming on certain psychological measures, while infected women scored differently still. These are population-level tendencies, not destinies. But the pattern kept appearing. The parasite that rewires mouse brains was showing faint fingerprints in human behavior too. The mechanism seems to involve dopamine, the brain's motivation and reward chemical. Toxoplasma cysts carry an enzyme called tyrosine hydroxylase, which is a key step in dopamine production. This is not speculation. The enzyme has been identified in the parasite's genome. The parasite may be gently nudging dopamine levels in the tissue surrounding its cysts. And dopamine touches almost everything. Risk tolerance, novelty seeking, mood, impulsivity, which raises a question that sounds absurd until you sit with it. How much of what we call personality is actually ours? But we still have not answered the central puzzle. Why does your immune system, which is extraordinarily good at destroying invaders, let this one survive? Here is the mid-story twist. Your immune system does fight back, hard. When Toxoplasma first enters your body, it triggers a strong response. Your immune cells find the infected tissue and attack. But Toxoplasma does something cunning during that attack. It wraps itself in a protective cyst wall, a biological fortress made of proteins your immune cells struggle to penetrate. And then it goes almost completely metabolically quiet. Inside that cyst, Toxoplasma divides slowly, staying beneath the detection threshold that would trigger a full immune assault. It essentially becomes too small a fire for your immune system to decide is worth the damage of burning down the building to extinguish. And brains are particularly precious real estate. Your immune system has a special relationship with brain tissue. It is more cautious there, more reluctant to cause collateral inflammation. Toxoplasma, over millions of years of coevolution, learned to hide precisely in that cautious zone. Now, to be clear, for the vast majority of healthy people, Toxoplasma is essentially harmless. Your immune system keeps it contained. You will likely never feel a single symptom. But the stakes change dramatically if your immune system is weakened, through HIV, chemotherapy, or organ transplant medication. In those cases, the cysts can break open and toxoplasmosis becomes life-threatening. And during pregnancy, a first-time infection can cross the placenta and cause serious harm to a developing fetus. The parasite is not evil. It simply does not care about us. We are an accident in its life cycle. Here is something that genuinely reframes the whole picture. Toxoplasma has been infecting mammals for millions of years, long before modern humans existed. Our ancestors lived alongside infected prey, ate undercooked meat, and handled soil full of oocysts, the parasite's egg-like stage, shedding cat feces and surviving in soil for months. In that environment, a parasite that subtly reduced excessive fear, slightly increased exploratory behavior and risk tolerance, could those traits, on balance, have occasionally been useful? Researchers are careful here. This is speculation. Some researchers have proposed, very cautiously, that if Toxoplasma does nudge dopamine and reduce certain fear responses, populations with higher infection rates might show slightly different cultural patterns around novelty and risk. One cross-national study found a correlation between national Toxoplasma prevalence and measures of entrepreneurship. Correlation is not causation. This needs much more research, and the effect sizes are small. But the question it raises is almost vertiginous. If a parasite has been shaping mammal brains for millions of years, could it have left any trace in the broad arc of human culture and risk-taking? The good news is that scientists are now taking Toxoplasma seriously in ways they did not 2 decades ago. Researchers are investigating its possible links to schizophrenia. The parasite has been found at higher rates in some schizophrenic populations, though whether it contributes or merely correlates is unresolved. Others are studying whether understanding how Toxoplasma silences the immune system inside the brain could teach us something about treating brain inflammation and autoimmune conditions. The parasite that hid from us may end up teaching us something profound. So here is where we land. Your body keeps Toxoplasma alive, not out of kindness and not out of weakness, but because the parasite evolved, across millions of years, to find exactly the right hiding place at exactly the right metabolic pitch to avoid being worth destroying. It turned your brain's protected status into a shelter. It learned the specific dimensions of your immune system's caution, and in doing so it became, for most of us, a permanent and invisible passenger. One that we will almost certainly carry to the end of our lives, never feeling a thing. Which leaves you with this. If a single-celled organism can find a way to sit quietly inside the most complex structure in the known universe, your brain, and subtly interact with the chemistry of fear, dopamine, and behavior, without you ever once suspecting it was there, what else might we be carrying, thinking, or feeling that did not entirely originate with us? And what does it mean for identity, for free will, for the story we tell ourselves about who we are, that some of our inner landscape might have a tenant we never invited in? That question does not have a clean answer yet.